Yap About It podcast, starring Raw Bass. Let's yap about it. Let go. We in the mix, Fit Too Savage. Let's yap about it. Stop by for a visit. Content was so living, had to pray for all of my children. Now the whole world be listening. Talk to niggas from prison. Spoke how they was living, how the COs be tripping. Rappers losing on the back end because promoter dudes be dipping. Seen the show when the dude started out of bloods, then start crippin'. Stripper niggas stop tipping, how the game niggas stop flipping. Bad attitude, so he had to move just to keep his ass out of prison. Seen a show about a young hoe, fucked on a sister, man, no apology. Let's yap about it. If the bitch come around me, she can holler at me. Check my Instagram, she was following me, cause she knew I be where them dollars be. Rapid funds, but I keep her going, I fuck you up, no apologies. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Let's yap about it. Fit Too Savage, savage like music.
What's up, y'all? We are back. First official episode of the year. Listen, I decided to do this, definitely to get y'all through this freeze, to keep your mind occupied off of that freeze and what have you, just to give you a little bit of conversation on some things that I've seen in the media news. And I wanted to just basically break down some things that I saw, especially with an interview that I saw that I found quite interesting. And when I say found quite interesting, it was something that was in depth, especially when it comes to everyday life and our perception on how we view things. As you know, Texas is experiencing a freeze all over. I hope everybody's in safe. I hope everybody is taking care of their business, got all their water, got their pipes covered. I hope everybody is basically safe. I actually posted that earlier today just to let everybody know that this podcast is thinking about everybody across Texas, even in Louisiana, other places that most people don't get that love and that respect to. I hope everybody is safe, and I hope everybody enjoys tonight's show, because we got another one coming back tomorrow. So we're going to be back to back. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody joining me tonight. But I want to start this off officially, the first episode. Listen, I want y'all to understand that this is going to be epic because we're going up from here. Welcome to the Let's Yap About It podcast. We are changing the world one conversation at a time. I'm Robert Higgins, your host for tonight's program. Please subscribe, share, and hit the like button to let us know we appreciate you for tuning in. The conversation we are going to have tonight is going to be concrete and tough, but nonetheless, we want to spark the brain. We want to entertain, and most of all, explain in detail about what we are yapping about. But I want to get to everybody to understand about what I'm talking about. Confessions of a Fiery Ex, the first official episode of the year. Okay. I want us to get into depth about what we're going to do, but I also want to do this. I want to get into depth about this because this was something that has sparked a debate across the board, all across where we are in society. And the reason why I'm getting into depth about this is because there is so much going on. And when I say so much going on to the point of where we are in our society, to where we're already at a standstill. And when I say at a standstill, it's at a disrespect between one another, especially when it comes to monetary gain, and it comes also to the sexual game. But I'm going to break this down tonight, and we're going to definitely get into it. And we got a lot to yap about. But first, I want to say this too. Thanks for joining the live stream. And listen, we on our way to 3,000 subs. So we definitely want to get there. And if you want to join tonight's conversation, Listen, the link is going to be in the chat. I'm about to put that there right now. So if you want to come up, you don't have to show your face. You can be discreet, you know what I'm saying? And you can definitely chime in on the conversation that we're going to have tonight. Shout out to my OG, Alexander from the hood, you know, definitely Curry Road. I got to give him some love and some respect. Definitely got to give him some love and some respect. And we want to get to it. Now, without further ado, this right here is the spark of conversation. Okay. I want y'all to understand this. There was an audio clip played that has made the soundbite and it has went viral. In this video, we're going to be breaking down the most intense moment from this 47-moment explosion. We'll figure out how it went south, but what it's going to reveal probably is about relationships today and whether a partner can ever truly be a bad investment. So what happens when you plan to clear the air and it turns into an all-out war? That's exactly what happened on January 21st, 2026, on the episode of Cameron's own podcast, Talk with Flea. He brought on his ex, Cali O'Dae, for what should have been a moment of closure. Instead, it spiraled into a fiery debate. It got real heated over money, private text messages, and accusations of being emotionally checked out. I want you to understand this. This wasn't your typical celebrity gossip. This was a real man and real woman before the world. It got messy, yes. Complicated history with a whole thing of tearing apart their whole relationship in public. It was like watching a courtroom debate. With his co-host PT was definitely giving his play-by-play and, you know, trying to be the mediator of it. But the issues were dead serious. The argument shines on two people trying to build something together, but one is using a business blueprint while the other is using a family photo album. By the end of this, you definitely going to be the judge of it. We're going to walk through this confrontation from start to finish, but we'll hit the pause and analyze the key things: the war over money, the fight over boundaries, the weight of their history, and finally how the internet reached this unbelievably candid moment. I'm going to say this: every fire starts with a spark. For Cameron and Cali, this wasn't just about this 25,000. The absolute core of the argument ignited when the money came up. Specifically, Cali asking Cameron to loan or quote unquote invest $25,000. That's nothing to just hand over to somebody, because you got to understand the seriousness of losing and winning an investment. But this was for her wedding venue business. His response was just a no, it was a judgment. He straight up called her business idea a bad investment. Now, let's get into Cameron's head. His logic was a little bit different. It was coming from a specific place. And the reason why I say this, for him, it wasn't just personal, it was just strictly business. It's no different than like a judge on Shark Tank hearing a pitch. He defended his choice by pointing out to what he saw her history of bad financial decisions. He viewed her new venture as just another ship he wasn't willing to bet on. And you got to be understanding to the fact of people who have made bad investments already. So they're looking over everything like a fine-tooth comb to assure that every business venture has a ROI, which is a return of investment. But I want to get to this part, and I really want to get to this part, and I want to show you exactly the moment of how these things can go awry. But I'm just gonna play a couple of clips tonight, and I'm gonna let y'all judge. Y'all want to come in, comment, by all means. I don't mind. I love to hear everybody else's perspective, and if you want to just do it at the end of the show, by all means, I'm here for it. But I want to play this particular clip, and you tell me, and we're gonna walk through this. And I got a couple of notes that I want to bring on this. Y'all check this out.
Question, because the feelings that I'm getting from you, were you number one or thought you was number one?
Thought.
Yeah, I'm asking. Were you?
Yeah, when you got like possessive and stuff,
Yeah.
like he said you was territorial.
So let me.
I want to say something about that. When he talked about being number one. And I really want to bring this up because I think that this doesn't get talked about enough, especially when it comes to conversations among the people that we love and we care about. I want to say this. You have to know your place in a man's life from the jump. It is the most important thing to understand. And the reason why I want to go to this is because, and I want to talk to the ladies and I want to talk to the fellas, and let's just have a realistic conversation here. When you know your place in a man's life, you must understand that first impressions are lasting impressions, and depends on what you've been through together, what you talk about, what he sees as far as your mindset, what he sees as far as your emotions, what he sees when he tells you the word no. That right there plays a huge part in how he deals with you on a daily basis. A lot of times we can think that we're all the way in with people, but we're not all the way in with people, depending on the situation and how you react to it. Now, I want you to understand something about this when I say knowing the place that you are in a man's life from the jump. See, because what it does is it doesn't have you overestimate or have unspoken assumptions, especially when you're dealing with him from a normal standpoint. And when I say a normal standpoint, meaning engaging, getting out, vibing, getting to know a person's mindset, getting to know a person's aspirations, goals, and different things like that. But as you can see, when he asked that specific question, she took a pause for the cause because she understood right there in that moment. If you pay attention, she paid attention right there to that moment when he said that. She was at a loss for words. I want to replay this so you can understand and watch exactly what she was saying at the end of the conversation. She stutter step. Check it out.
Your question, because the feelings that I'm getting from you, were you number one or thought you was number one?
Thought.
Yeah, I'm asking. Were you?
Yeah, when you got like possessive and stuff,
Yeah.
like he said you was territorial.
That pause right there. And then for her to even think in that mindset, and I want to bring this up too. Hey, what it is. King Duke Faro, salute to you, man. Definitely. Appreciate you for tapping in with me tonight. But I want us to understand something about this, right? And I want to get into details about this because this is one of the most intricate things, right? Your attitude determines your altitude in a man's life. Your attitude can be creative or it can be destructive when it comes to the very engagement part of a man. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of times you think just because you act good with that person in front of their face, oh, that means you're all the way in. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that because a lot of times men are very observant about who you are away from them. When you're interacting with certain people, when you're interacting with certain women, when we look at your inner circle, when we look at your outer circle, we see what is important to you. We see what the value is as far as your everyday comings and goings, what you've mastered, what you haven't mastered, what's complicated about your life. All of these things in detail play a huge, intricate part on a person getting to know you. Because a lot of times what we get in the beginning, and this goes for the men too, you get this person that is what we figure they want them to be. And what I'm saying is they look for key words, they look for key things, they look for key tangibles to make you interested, to make you think that that person is who you think that they are. But in 9 times out of 10, it's normally just an introductory, a mask. And once you peel the layers back after several months, you start to get to see the true person and see how you want to evaluate on how to deal with that person. So your attitude determines your altitude in a man's life. And any man that has any type of value, he's going to value his time, he's going to value his energy, he's going to value all the things that are important in front of him as well as away from him. And if guess what, if you present any type of danger or inconsistencies or anything that could bring detriment to his life, then you might be third place when you think that you're first place. And I want to say this too, and I want to get into the depths of this. And this is not me beating up on her specifically because, like he said, he gave her props. She's smart. She's intelligent. She's a hustler. He elaborated on a lot of things in detail about who she was as a person. But I'm going to say this, and this may cause a controversy and a stir. And if you believe me, you believe me. If you don't, you don't. Your behavior in ways will disqualify you from any benefits from a man. And when I seen in her actions, in her voice, in her bravado, and I even seen the machismo oozing out of her as a person, she was very, very, very inconsistent, and she was very, very furious at not listening. She had a headstrong mindset of, I want my way. I want people to see it my way. Now, I want to show you something, and I want to bring this up. And this plays a huge key part in exactly what I was talking about. I had this conversation with my friend, and we talked about these key things. I talked to him a long time ago about this word, basically used in psychology, right? I want y'all to understand what I'm talking about. The word of the night, Dunning-Kruger effect. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where individuals with limited knowledge or competence in a particular domain greatly overestimate their own knowledge or competence. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to observe if I was in her particular shoes, even just from a friend standpoint. Cameron has been in bad record deals. Cameron has been in bad situations that could have really messed up his career. If it wasn't with the addition of Damon Dash being able to get him out of his deal and for him to understand the point system in his at the time of him being signed to a record label, he wouldn't understand. You wouldn't have the Cameron that you have right now to understand what is a good business investment and what a bad business investment is. When I look at people that are in a certain level of status, that means that they've been through the ringer, they've been through the fire, they've been through the dramas, they've been through the losses, they've been through the heartaches, they've been through the stress, the the snowball effect of stress of them being able to build themselves exactly to who they were. You got to understand. There were a lot of intricate parts that even when Cameron was learning the music business, he took a lot of losses in the music business. Way before he got to the diplomats and that diplomat and the dipset status, before he could actually get in his position, he had to position himself first. And then the key chess players like the Jim Joneses, the Freaky Zekies, and everybody else, the Duke, the gods, for him to position himself in order for him to get to where he could help others, he first had to help himself. And make no mistake, as he went through the fires and went through the process, he learned what was good. He learned what was bad. He learned what was a detriment to his business and to his name. He learned what was beneficial. He looked at the pluses and he looked at the minuses. And I'm talking to Cali O'Dae right now. If you understood who Cam was and you understood of what he's been through in business as far as the music industry, and the music industry is cutthroat, make no mistake about it, then you would have understood him actually without him just giving you the money to understand the overall significance of him being a business person. Those things play a key role in with dealing with somebody specifically of that. And I want you to understand, even in this situation, that it was a little rough and tough and what have you. And yes, they dealt with each other on that type of level, but she really didn't understand the value of who he was as a man. Because I want you to understand something. A man can observe. A man is supposed to be able to notice the nuances, the roadblocks, the pitfalls, and anything in his woman's life that he cares about. Now, here's what says a lot about Cam and himself. He's not even in a relationship with you. He's not even in anything in depth with you. And he had enough love for you and enough respect and admiration for you to even tell you that something was a bad investment. And as you can look at her eyes and you can tell in her body language, she's spoiled. She's used to getting what she wants. She understood that she wasn't number one in Cam's life. That's why she took the pause for the cause. But she also knew that if I wasn't first in his life, I could figure out to be first in somebody else's. And we know that people that play both sides of the fence. That's just being real. But I want to get to this second part. This second part was what really of what I observed. Y'all check out this second part. And I want to ask y'all tonight, and I want y'all to give y'all perspective. And I don't mind. And I really don't mind. I really want to ask y'all this question tonight. Who do you feel is in the right? Do you feel like Cali O'Dae, if you've seen the interview? Do you feel like Cali is in the right, or do you feel like Cam is in the right? But I want to get to this next part, which is very, very important. Provide protection provision. What does this mean in Black culture? Because the value of money in our culture is more on a consumerism basis as opposed to every other culture. They're looking at it from a legacy standpoint basis. One of the greatest men of all time, that was of our century. He doesn't get talked about. His books don't get put on the forefront. Dr. Amos Wilson. He said, we cannot have a social economic status of where we consumer our way out of freedom when we actually fund everybody else's vacations. We fund everybody else's dreams and aspirations when we actually close the door, we close the book, and we put our dreams on the shelf. We must understand the value of our economics. We must understand the value of our dollar, and we cannot be wasteful. And we cannot be wasteful for people. And when I say people that don't really give a damn about us, that want to see us fail anyway. And understand that Cam didn't want to see her fall. Cam didn't want to see her fail. And guess what? Even when he went through and considered it, the first thing he did was run the paperwork through his lawyers. Now, ain't that something? You got lawyers, you got accountants. He's got all of these people that are watching his investments. So what makes you think for a second that even if he does care about you and he does does have respect for you, he said it wasn't personal, it was just business. And he had his lawyers run through it. And guess what? It was a bad investment. And there were some things that even Cam that was going to get a guaranteed return of investment that he turned down, because the climate of where we are in our society in 2026, losing $25,000 is just like losing 25 million. Let's be honest. But I want you to check out the second part. And this particular thing plays a pivotal part in exactly understanding who we are and how the Dunning-Kruger effect takes. I'm going to show you the exact moment of when the Dunning-Kruger effect happens. Check this out.
That you're giving, the personal behavior, it sounds like a lot of entitlement. So that's why I'm asking you. When behavior like that with entitlement.
To be honest, not even to jump in.
I'm sorry. You know what it is? I'm just used to a man in my life, especially one who's intimate with me, automatically wants to step into leadership and provision and want to protect and provide for me. Kim has never given me those vibes.
Yeah. You got a boyfriend right now, Kelly?
No.
Exactly.
Why does that matter? Do you have a girlfriend right now?
I'm going to stop it right there. They both were on the same page as far as expressing what was going on and how things were going on in between their lifestyle at that time. They weren't even dealing with each other. And as you can see, the first response when he asked her a simple question about did she have a boyfriend, her immediate response was to deflect. Do you have a girlfriend? But watch this specific part of where I said that Dunning-Kruger effect takes right at the moment, right here.
I don't need nobody to protect and provide for me. I'm not looking for that. I'm just trying
You're
to
a
say.
man. I wouldn't expect that.
I'm just trying to say that this is the thing that you think that because you're dating somebody, like for instance, right? Give you an example.
So as a woman, if I share my body with a man, I shouldn't expect him to want to protect and provide for me? Is that what you would teach your fucking daughter?
The problem, so I'm not having sex with my daughter.
What are you talking about?
Just make up your mind.
No, it's not about having sex with your daughter. It's about, that's what you would teach your daughter.
Oh, teach your daughter, I'm sorry.
She just having sex with a man that doesn't want to protect and provide for her? Like what?
The problem is this, you want to protect
You think
and
men
provide.
and women are equal?
No, what I'm trying to explain to you is this. For me, I rather invest in my female than give my female. And that's the problem.
You've never invested in me.
Because you had bad investments. That's why you're in nursing school. I'm trying to explain to you that the investments that you had weren't good.
That's not why I'm in nursing school. I've been working on my nursing degree since fucking 2019.
Why you don't have it yet?
I opened the business to help me get through nursing school.
and which was
because I needed a passive income,
which was a bad investment. Right. Anyway, like I was trying to explain, because it's a bad investment, or somebody gives you an opinion, you reverse it into a nigga don't want to protect, provide, you never looked out for me, yo, you didn't really like you always looked past me, because I don't think what you were doing was going to make money for yourself or for me. That's how you revert it to say, yo, you never want to look out for me. You never did this for me. You never believed in me. You always look past me, because I give you my real opinion on situations.
What's funny is when she kept trying to put out this investment, and she was hook, line, and sinker, dead on this investment coming to fruition, he knew from the jump that it wouldn't work. And what's so crazy about this situation is the moment that she took a pause for the cause, she just didn't stop and let that sink in. She didn't let that soak in fully for her to understand that this guy has already made thousands of bad investments right at that point. And that when he looked at it, it was a bad investment. And the first thing he said was, what happened to the investment? Investments closed down. And make no mistake about it, we as men never want to knock nobody for their dreams and aspirations. Let me be clear about that. I want us to understand something about that. We men want our women to thrive in 2026. We want our women to go on and do all of the things that are great, but understand this. That greatness is for you, as we are the foundation. We are the backbone to whatever that may happen that may not be in your favor. We can still cover the spread. And then you look at this situation. I want to bring this up, and I have to bring this up. What qualifies you in a man's life is not your sexual organs. I want you to understand this. Your sexual organ is not a leveraging tool. It takes more. In 2026, we see more men are having more sex with women, being detached from them now more than ever. And when that woman discovers that that man is having sex with somebody else, just being honest, she's shocked, because she thinks that the value is held between her legs. No, it's outside of the bedroom. One of the most important things my mother ever said to me, she said, yeah, you can have all the great sex that you want, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. But guess what? It's the 22 hours. It's the 23 hours. It's the 21 hours that you spend outside the bedroom. And that's going to be your focus point on you actually being able to thrive and be able to be valuable in a man's life. See, sex is coupled with a lot of things behind that. So a lot of times our culture has been raised to do what? To leverage sex. Sex is nothing but a biological function. And it has been basically twisted into being what? None other than prostitution. And the reason why I'm saying this and I'm bringing this up is because I want us to have this conversation about this. Investing or entitlement, providing or prostitution. What lines were blurred and chosen in this situation? Because when I look at it, and make no mistake, Cam ain't the only person out here. There are people that have literally went next to Chris Brown. Chris Brown, I'm going to use him as an example because, yes, he's a celebrity. He has had people walk behind him. He has had women walk behind him for hours and do nothing with the expectations of getting something. So here we have a situation with a man like Cam being able to provide. Obviously, he's done that for his son. He's provided, made sure his son graduated. He's done all of the things that was necessary as a man for him to do, and for him to be reduced to this person that has never looked out and never done for anything. The crazy part about this situation, she didn't understand what her value was. He said the key thing, he likes to invest into his women. But what type of investments? What's the return of investment? What are the details? What is the drawn out PowerPoint? What is the files and different things that you've done to show where it's a plus and where it's a minus at? See, there are lots of people that have these type of great ideas, but they never come about like they want to. And the reason why they never come about like they want to is because they've only came up with this in a matter of a couple of weeks or a couple of months. In order to be great at something, you have to study it. And when I say study it, not study it forever, but study it in a way to where you can cover every roadblock, pitfall, every loss that you could possibly take. I want you to understand something. Majority of the time, most businesses fail within about, I'm going to say roughly, maybe 3 to 5 years. And I want you to understand the significance behind that, because once you start taking losses and once you start getting in the red, you could get in what you could call a sunk cost fallacy. You can start pouring into something and you won't be able to get out of it because you feel like, well, I've taken this much of a loss. Well, I can end up like KFC. KFC went bankrupt before they ever actually reorganized and revamped everything for them to be profitable. But everybody thinks that they're a KFC, but you got to understand that you have to have venture capital plus more in order for your business to sustain its place in society where we are now. And the reason why I'm saying this is because even today when I was passing by and I was on the way to the house, I seen a business called which was thriving just a couple of years ago. Now, closed. Let's talk about another business, Salads to Go. Man, that business was, I thought, a pretty profitable business. Guess what? I started seeing them pop up everywhere. Fry Road, right on Richmond near the Galleria, everywhere. Now you don't see them no more. So you got to understand the significance and behind investing, and then also this entitlement thing. Just because, I want you to understand this, just because you open your legs does not necessarily mean you hold a valid place in a man's life. That's what people got to understand. Men can, even in marriage, men will still have sex with people they don't like just to satisfy that need. And once that need is met, go on about their business. And a lot of women are now just waking up to the fact of understanding this 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line. And that's a bad thing because you're supposed to be self-aware at all times. And when you're self-aware, then you understand who you are as a person. Understand that the person that you say that I am, you have to accept me, who I am and what I am. Sometimes that person is just awful. Sometimes that person can be annoying. Sometimes that person can be overbearing. Sometimes that person can be a person that just does not listen and is always into themselves and selfish. Sometimes the person can have sociopathic tendencies. Sometimes, and this is the kicker of it all, sometimes people will play the role because it's only 2 types of people in the world. People that are bad actors and people who get tired of acting. And as you see, and as you can see in this conversation, Cameron was very calm. He was very poised. He was very articulate. He took his time and even having the patience to explain not once, not 2, not 3, but 4 times. And I want you to understand this and get this. When it was several people saying the same thing, you should have got a damn clue of exactly what he was trying to get through to you, which was a bad investment. And this is what I want to get, and I want to drive this home to. This is key. The part of where he opens up, even about the sexual part, and I understood why he took that route, because we see in a lot of cases, even in the celebrity world, the first thing they want to do is bring up their sexual endeavors. And she looks like the type that she'll bring that up, but guess what? Can't beat her to the punch because he wanted to lay that foundation all the way out the way and get back to the business that was at hand. And that was that investment that she made. We live in a heartless society to where, and I'm saying this, and this can go both ways, and I'm not beating her up. We live in a society to where if things don't go right in a relationship, whoever runs to the internet first, which we already know who runs to the internet first, usually in the court of public opinion, that person is automatically guilty without researching the facts, without researching on the situation in itself, or even the subject matter at hand that even came or even led up to a breakup or led up to a divorce. That person is automatically guilty. And here's my question about it. What the fuck is the internet going to do to help you out, especially when you didn't get what you want? I just seen this recently. Fetty Wap ain't been out of jail, not even a month. And then you already jumping on the internet because I believe, and I said this in episodes about 10 episodes ago, the MO, and this was with Anthony Edwards in the Aisha Curry episode, and you got to check that episode out because I break down a lot of stuff over there. When you don't get your way, you start conjuring up already. You already relieving a relationship, but you already have a blueprint plan set out to destroy a specific person. What you do is you wait till the relationship gets worse to the way you feel like it gets worse. Then you go to the internet with the list of bullshit that you feel like you have on a person. Then you start throwing dirt on their name. Then you start going into the court of public opinion to sway a certain level of your audience or your fans, quote unquote. Then what you proceed to do is you go through the court proceedings or whatever it is. Then you go write a book, and then you go on talk shows, and then you start dismantling a person from talk show to talk show and being disrespectful. That's where we live in society right now, to where you become of no use. Once your services are no longer needed or they feel like you've reached your pinnacle or your peak, they just devalue who you are and destroying your reputation. So a lot of times in these situations, the facts don't get put out. But see, here was the thing. Cam was very masterful in this moment of him being able to even sit down with his ex. Let's have a real conversation. And he did that so masterfully. And do I think that she walked away from this conversation very emotional? Absolutely. Do I think she got the point of what Cameron was saying? Absolutely not. Because I can see it in her eyes. I can see it in her emotions. She wants what she wants. But let me tell y'all something. That right there is a detriment to majority of our culture. The reason why it's a detriment to our culture, because that Dunning-Kruger effect that I talk about is something that is so existent in our culture right now, to where we overestimate what we know, or we want to fit in, so we'll fake it till we make it. We have to get out of that mindset. We have to get out of the fake it till you make it mindset. And I want to bring this up because this is another word of the night that I want to bring up, which is especially a point about Cam. Word of the night, upward classism. When a person ignores your input but readily listens to someone of higher social status, it is a common phenomenon driven by psychology, social conditioning, and power dynamics. You always hear me talk about that. The funny part about this, and it hits home, is even in this moment, when she know who Cam is a known star, has one of the hottest podcasts out, you know what I'm saying? You still didn't value his opinion. The man that you've known all this time, the man that you've seen grow, and I'm talking about grow from year to year, you literally did not even use this as an example. So my question is this: if Cam ain't good to listen to, then who is? And the reason why I say this is because when we start looking at ourselves, like I say, sometimes we can overestimate our value. In this case is when that happens, how you do one thing is how you do all things. Look at the situation. You didn't even value yourself because you didn't even realize you weren't number one until it hit you right there when he asked that question. And then second, the man that you have of value in your presence, you don't even value his opinion, and he's in a higher social status than you. So what is it? Is it Cam or is it you, Cali? And the reason why I ask this question is because I want us to be able to have these type of conversations within our culture. Because if a man is going to be a protector and a provider, he also wants to preserve those around him. If I can't tell you nothing, then I can't teach you nothing. And if I can't teach you nothing, there's nothing to be reached. And what I'm saying is this common goal of progression, the things that lack within our culture now, being able to sit down and a person fully communicate and understand and when I say understand, not to just be talking just for the sake of talking, but to make sure and to assure the protection of what I'm saying and to value what I'm saying so that we can thrive and we can go forward, not to take 3, 4, 5, 10 steps back. Because in this society, I want to be able to take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps forward and not have to take 10 steps back. And understanding that if I hand you $25,000, am I taking a step forward or am I taking a step back? So which one is more important? Me giving you the $25,000 and you failing your investment, or saving this $25,000 and maybe showing you a way to make $25,000 and doubling it? Which one would be more valuable to you? And that's why I say in this type of situation, when people are understanding our socioeconomic climate of where we are, then you'll value not just the money, but you'll actually value the friendship. That's just my personal opinion. I felt like I needed to speak on this. And the reason why is because I've ran into these type of situations. I've ran into these situations where people just want you to let them borrow something just for the sake of borrowing something, and then don't want to put nothing in writing, don't want to, you know what I'm saying, get it, ran through certain things and certain channels. They just feel like they're entitled to your bread. But understand, I want young brothers and young sisters to understand this. Friends are to be used, not to be abused. When you have somebody that is on point, the least you can do is have a certain level of respect for them, because the value that their friendship is way bigger than just some money. Sometimes they can save you from your own self. They can save you from your own demise. Sometimes they can put you in a better position than what money could ever do. They could walk you through some doors. That's why I understand the significance and loyalty of Tony Yayo. That's why I understand the significance of people like that. And most people will say, oh, well, you can do your own thing. But guess what? The man's still fine. The man's still eating duck in Morocco and doing all types of other stuff. His loyalty and his value within 50 Cent, it shows. And he doesn't have to brag about it because it's in his actions and it's not just in his words. Shout out to y'all, man, for real. But I really want y'all to tap in. I really want to know y'all opinion. So after breaking down this money and the boundaries and all this emotional history, I have to ask you, whose side are you on? Are you Team Cameron, believing he was just a smart business call, or making a smart business call, or projecting his assets? Or are you Team Cali, feeling like he failed her as a supportive partner? And if you find these breakdowns valuable and want more analysis on the moments that everybody don't really just get into, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, I want to say this. When you strip away all the celebrity and the viral clips and what happened between Cali and Cam, this was never about 25,000. It was a fundamental clash of worldviews. They weren't just on a different page. They were reading two completely different books. One side, Cameron's the relationship CFO with his pragmatic businesses and a lot of other stuff. But I really, really want people to understand the significance. But it looks like I got a guest up here. Got my boy Timbo, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy, man.
What up, what up, what up?
What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's the word, man? You
I had to
staying
get
safe
these
out here?
kids situated real quick, man. I'm ready to chop it up now, man.
Man, listen, I done ran it, man. Cam, what's your opinion on the situation? But I gotta ask you this question first. This is the kicker. Okay. Who do you feel is in the right, Cameron or Cali O'Dae?
Talking about the girl?
Yeah.
Um, Cam all the way. And I'm not being biased because I'm a man. I know that's what people gonna think. But it's more so it's a time and a place, and you really came on that platform and you really weren't prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like I get what she thought she was trying to do, but then you end up proving the man point all the way across the board. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
7 years later, you still ain't got the degree. You still ain't got the nursing job. I opened you up a business. It failed. You know, but somehow it's my fault though. Make it make sense, man.
Um, I looked at the situation in its entirety because I studied this specifically, and she took a lot of pauses. And I don't know if those pauses broke her emotionally, or was she really, really soaking it in to understand fully of what Cam, PT, and the rest of them were saying. Now, the only advocate that she really had in that situation was really Sin. Sin was the only guy that really was trying to soften it for her. I think he even tried to throw her a bone at one point to try to get her to understand the totality of the situation, right? But I don't
Right.
think she got it. And that's where I'm like, damn, was you really being more emotional and you were just being just what you call a brat? Or was you really trying to understand the business acumen of what this man had brought to the table for not just 5 years, 10 years? This man was 20 years in the game, fam.
Right.
So
And I think that was more so that's the entitlement, man. That entitlement, it's one of the worst drugs known to man, because you feel like somebody owe you something, regardless of how things turn out. It should just be an unlimited supply of money. It should be an unlimited supply of everything, even if it don't make sense, don't make dollars, none of that. It should just be an endless supply. And if it fails, I shouldn't hear anything about it. We should just keep on moving like nothing ever happened. And that's a lot of these women problem, man. Brats.
you know, me just valuing life the way that I do in my older age. When we're young, we was BMF and we were blowing money fast. We was all into other stuff too, besides a 9 to 5 or whatever. But nonetheless, we even had a stopping point. We even said, all right, you know what I'm saying? When stuff started happening, we had that moment where we was like, all right, it's time to fall back. They don't have a fallback. She didn't literally have a fallback moment. She was like, I'm not hearing none of this. This is what I want. This is what I need. My needs didn't get met, even though I'm your friend. Mind you, he said friend. You still didn't have a fallback moment. And I feel like the person like that is very dangerous, bro.
Yeah. Cause she immediately went into victim mode. And that's what that normally that's how that goes. Like when you put a woman in a room with no windows, no doors, they still coming up out of there, man. You know what I'm saying? And the sad reality is, real shit, the sad reality is a woman can be in a situation where her ass is tooted up in the air. Her husband can walk in, walk through the door, catch her with her ass tooted in the air. Her next move, once she realizes that she's busted, everything is on the forefront. She's gonna burst out into tears. Once she bursts out into tears, some kind of way, even though you in this man's house, that he pay all the bills that all that, it's gonna be a shift on you wasn't giving me enough time and attention. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just lonely. I didn't know. And she gonna ruffle it all up and somehow play on some men. Some men will be like, you know what? Maybe I wasn't home enough. Yeah.
No,
So
bro.
the thing is, the
Wait.
reason I salute Cam is because Cam stuck to his guns.
Uh,
He didn't allow her to backpedal and try to manipulate and flip. And I know, like you say, she had an advocate, somebody advocated for her, but at the same time, he'll be the one who can get the pussy on the back end because she's gonna look at it like, oh, well, at least he stood up for me. He could jump in them DMs, he could jump in the pussy. You know how this gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Deep down, he know she was wrong, but it's gonna always be one. You see what I'm saying? It'll always be one.
It's funny that you say that, right? I've dealt with things like this, and I'm not even trying to sleep with you. Like, I'm trying to tell you a real truth about yourself. I would think that there would be a light switch that, or a key ignition thing that turns on. Well, he's not trying to sleep with me, so it must be true. So I think maybe I should just, listen. That does not happen, bro, and that is scary because right now I'm teaching my daughter, hey man, when I'm telling you something, it is really for your own personal gain. It's not for me. I literally can let you fall by the wayside, but I'm not, because I care about you and I love you enough to tell you, bro. Because
Right.
I'm trying to turn you into a wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to have you go out in the world as a concubine. I want you to be a wife so that you can understand that when a man says something, it's for your benefit and not his, bro.
Right. Rarely does a man with the family do anything for his own benefit. It's always like, even if he run across a large sum of money, it's gonna be like, okay, now I can pay so we can get ahead. Okay, now I can pay this bill. Uh, uh, Even if the wife and the husband both need a vehicle, he's gonna defer to say, hey, let me go ahead and put her in a newer vehicle. You know what I'm saying? I could put mine in the shop, spend a few hundred, get some things tweaked on it, and later on go buy me a vehicle. If a woman gets her hands on a large lump sum of money, she's gonna go herself, kids, then husband. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In that order. Believe it. The tithes might not even get paid to the church. It's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna get skipped over. You know what I'm saying? That's just how they go. And I know it's a lot of women that are defending and say, I don't think like that. But these are also women who don't have husbands as well. So yeah, they'll say that. So we don't have anything to gauge this off of. You know what I'm saying? But women are naturally selfish by nature. And she really thought she was finna come on there, really disrupt the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you thought she was gonna ruffle the feathers to the point where he said, hey man, cut the camera. No, keep the cameras rolling. Let's go ahead. Now look, you said what you had to say. I'm not gonna mute your mic, none of that. We're gonna dissect this. We're gonna lay it on the table. Give me the scalpel. Let's go ahead. Let's open this up. We're gonna dive real deep. And then let's get to the nitty-gritty. And when we got to the nitty-gritty, you really hate you got on that live to begin with, man.
Man, bro. And I think she might realize that because two things. She didn't even want to address the point of even bringing up his dead friends and the way she said that. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I would feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Of people that I known longer than you, and then you come around and tell them their opinion about me. That's not gonna fly with me, man. That's an automatic cutoff. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And another thing which I had brought up, and I wanted to hear your perspective on this: provide protection and provision in Black culture. It is totally different from every other culture. What does this mean in Black culture? Because from what I've seen, and I brought it up on the show, about everything that we provide is tangible for their benefit and not the family household benefit. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
In other cultures, when you look at provide protection and provision, is this from a European ideology? Is this from that ideology, or is it from a Black culture ideology? Because those are two different things. If you look at African tradition history, totally completely different from European ideology. That's
Right.
from a war colonization standpoint. Ours is from a growth. If you look at the Indians, what did they tell you? If you take a buffalo, you sacrifice the buffalo, you pay respects to the buffalo. You know what I'm saying? You give back just as much as you take, you give back. That's of an indigenous following. Why is that not prevalent right now in Black culture? You see what I'm saying?
I feel like I I look on it, and when I say I'm just saying the Black community, I don't think it's of African or European descent. It's more of a freestyle out on the whim type shit, because
Mm.
even when you look at, all right, so the providing aspect, a woman has no problem. And I know I don't want the women to feel like this is just an attack on women, but I'm just
It's
saying,
not. It's
you
not.
you have to understand that the Willie Lynch syndrome is alive and well. You know what I'm saying? Man against woman, light skin versus dark skin. old against young. Like it's still prevalent to this day. So I said that to say this: a woman has no problem with you paying all of her bills, but she will have a problem in terms of you disciplining her children. Let's say she has children outside of you. You get what I'm saying? Now, not saying a man want to go in there and just get the whooping on people, kids and shit like that. But what I'm saying is, you're gonna end up having a stumbling block along the way to where, okay, it's cool. I want you to do this and this. You need to be the leader. You need to be this and this. But then when it comes to disciplinary actions and things like that, oh, you have to watch how you talk to my child. You have to watch how, oh, hold on, no, well, hold on, whoa, no, 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 we don't do that. Now, because we really the only culture, and I know they had to show Brady Bunch and shit like that, which I credit to the Brady Bunch because they moved the only way I said I would move. Like either the other parent has to be dead or dead beat. And I'm talking about dead beat to the floor, no involvement.
Yeah.
Or he got life in prison. Otherwise, I couldn't even see myself having these type of dealings because I understand what comes along with this. Even on the Brady Bunch, they blended families. Show me when you seen the real mom and the real daddy.
Come on.
I'm talking about the outside parents.
Come
They
on,
didn't
man.
exist. It was they wasn't. I assume both of them must have been dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they showed you putting it together. But see, they didn't show you every aspect of the baby mama drama, the baby daddy drama. They left that out because they didn't have to deal with it. And that was just a comical show. In real life, nobody's moving like that. But the black community, that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like we the only ones want to blend some shit up, man. That blending shit, man, don't go in other communities, man. A man don't take pride in raising someone else's kids. Only, you know, black men thrive on being stepdaddies, and a lot of niggas are stepdaddies to a whole bunch of kids or mamas they was never married to. That's another problem. You see what I'm saying? They're confusing these kids and everything that go on. So back to the point: protect, provide, provision. Let's just take a normal family situation.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Your wife, your kids, all in the same umbrella. I don't see a lot of resistance in those type of situations. Everybody that I know that's married to their actual wife and all their kids are together, there's no outside kids. I kind of see everything flourish. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of partners that's married. Keno, my partner Reeves. These people I talk to on the constant. Things kind of just flow. More so where you get the kickback and the resistance is when it's some steps involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're not running singularly on your program. It'll be like, well, now his daddy, now with him, well, now you don't have to take him to the barbershop because his daddy, do this or it's like you got so many obstacles to cross. That should be a question later on. Is it worth it to be a step parent? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
serious.
Because you know, boy, it's too much to tell. But back to it again. Last statement I'm gonna make: protect, provide, provision. Um, Again, I've seen it. I've seen it be successful in a normal situation. That's all I can say. In the abnormal situations is where I've seen it kind of be like a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I'm gonna say this, man. You hit an excellent point. I got to give you some love for that. And have seen, you know what I'm saying, the marriage part, the relationship part, the children part, the step, you know what I'm saying, and just being around. Um, this question that I want to ask you is this key ingredient: investing or entitlement, providing or prostitution. What lines were blurred and chosen in this situation? Because when people, I look at this, investing is the providing part, but there's a certain level of entitlement, and I'm looking at it as modern day prostitution. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of times you just want to get to know a person from from a female's angle. You know what I'm saying? You want to pick her brain. She might know whatever, some things that you don't know, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to sleep with her, right? Because I've found out that you could get further being a woman's friend than you ever can being a boyfriend. So a lot of times when you don't cross those lines, that right there becomes a certain level of, I believe it should be a certain level of respect. But what I'm looking at is the friendship variable being to where I got close enough to him so I could borrow something. I got close enough to him for him to be beneficial to me more than anything that I would get out of that person. And when I'm looking at this situation, yeah, Flea rock with you. Flea was messing with you, you know what I'm saying? It was cool. But when it started to come into 25 grand, which you felt like was little to you, this man then took $25,000 losses. He done took $100,000
And
loss.
it's literally you, but you don't have it.
That come on, man. Like that's one of the biggest things.
It's most definitely prostitution, man. Without a doubt, man. Look, man. The whole ideology is if he can't do this, if he can't do that, he ain't. It's all everything always wind down to money. It's never about wisdom. It's never about, well, you know what, he gives me good guidance, good wisdom, knowledge. All that's cool. That dollar bill overrides all that. Like they'll even look at it like, girl, he messing with Mr. Joe. You saw Mr. Joe with one leg and one eye. Yeah, girl, but he just got that $300,000 settlement. Oh yeah, girl. You see what I'm saying? Like it overrides everything. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about character. Nobody cares about integrity. They don't care. And then there's ones that'll jump on and say, "Oh no, I do care about that kind of stuff." Man, go through that phone. You'll see. Yeah. You'll
The
see.
real
It's a couple Mr. Johnnies in there, man. She got to reach out to him first, man. You know what I'm saying? So it all sounds good, but the reality is a lot of these women, not all, but a lot of them have daddy issues, man. So you know they dream of a man taking care of them, even if they gotta take the sleazy route. You know what I'm saying? Like it's behind closed doors. It's really a guy that really ain't really trying to show off. If they go out to eat, he gonna take her across town. She might not even like the situation, but she still like what he does. And guess what? You're not gonna stop your bag. So the same pussy you giving to the nigga that you like, you still giving it to that old man who climbing on top of it. You know what I'm saying? With the taco set on the chest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all that sweating on top of you. He done popped that Viagra before he came over to make sure he gonna get his money worth, man. You not gonna play with him. You not gonna play with him. Nah. This ain't no quickie. This ain't on none of that. When he hit that dresser,
yeah.
yeah. Yes, sir. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
and I want to say this, and you know, we having some, you know what I'm saying, some back and forth. I feel like this. You shouldn't advertise yourself the way that you advertise yourself, right? So when he be like, look here, man, I got the $200, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving it to you off the bat. And you look at him like, what kind of woman do you think I am?
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to just get straight cut through the mustard and
Yeah.
give it to you right there. You know what I'm saying? But then here's the killing part. You'll turn down the $200 and say, well, I don't know, I'm not that type of woman. But then next thing you know, 2 weeks later, you still got that 200.
I got 80. I mean, you can't come over. Hey man, I got 80, man. All right, well, yeah. I guess that'll do. Yeah, I know it will.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. And yes, we're being funny about it. Yes, but the funny thing is there is truth to this. There is truth to this because a lot of times, like you said, it all equals back to money. It always equals back to the money part. So what is your value? And I said that I don't think Cali knew her value was what her value was before Cam and during Cam. Because like I said, I even said that it's girls that walk around with Chris Brown for 3, 4, 5 hours and get nothing out of him. They just around him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's allowed them. You know, security is around him, but he let them be in his presence. And the reason why I find that very funny is because you're in the presence of a man of value. Yes, you opened your legs to him, but you also had a level of opportunity of what money couldn't buy. Because at the end of the day, he could have taught you about real estate, because you forget Cam is a real estate investor. Cam has real estate in buildings and different things like that. You forgot that. So guess what? When you presented that to him, and he probably looked at that building, probably typed it up and looked at it. He looked at, yeah, the location might have been nice. Yes, everything might have made sense, particularly to you. But as far as a financial investment overall, maybe 3 to 5 years, it was terrible. So no. And then he even ran it through his lawyers. So he even considered the fact, even if it made it, think about this, how much stuff don't make it to his desk, how much stuff don't even get through his phone. So for
Right.
you to even know him on a personal level, and for him to do that for you, you should even be thankful.
But bro, that's not the case though. Cause it's like the more you do for them, the more they resent you. Actually, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe with men don't have more, a level of gratitude to be like, man, he did give me a shot. You don't really hit it, with them. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be more so like, well, he didn't believe in me anyway. His negative energy is the reason it failed anyway. Like it's gonna turn on you.
Yeah.
Nobody can. It's gonna turn on you, man. Perfect movie, man. Um, Acrimony, man. You know, y'all check that out, man. It just show you, man, the wickedness of women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it get real, man.
Now I wanna I really want to ask you this question. Now that this is aired out for the world to see, do you think Cameron and Cali could really, after this, really have a friendship?
I think she gonna run away from it. I think she gonna run away from one watching the episode. Anybody who calls her about the episode to say, "Hey, girl, I ain't gonna lie, I listened to that girl. Girl, you was wrong." She gonna end up cutting them off. It'll be years down the line. It won't be right now. It'll be years from now once the embarrassment and the shame kind of withers away. Right
Mhm.
now, it's too much embarrassment and shame. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
well, you know how hard it is to get a woman to say, "Hey, I'm wrong." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know how
And
hard
he,
that is? Like, and now on this scale, and then look, this is another thing. Your failures got put out on the forefront. Like, okay, it's been you say you've been in nursing school since what, 20? What she said, 20
2019.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, well, what a degree. It's like now you really gotta do some self-checking. And it's like, whoa, like man, I really been out here bullshit. But what happened is her homegirl to call and say, hey girl, you wanna go out and go have some drinks? They'll go out and have some drinks. And it'll be like, damn, this shit ever happened, man. One thing that I admire about women, they got a reset button in their head. They could just delete all they bad shit. It'd be like a woman could tell your car, flash the tires, bust out your windows, the whole nine, and then scramble you some eggs in the morning like that shit never happened, dog.
Man, it's a trait that they have, and I think I think it's a trait that they have, but I think the real women that value things, they do a self evaluation to understand who they are, what they are, and the value. Like I said, that related back to Cam, what her value is to him, and I think this is a huge wake up call, because guess what? He has power, he has wealth, and he has influence. So guess what? Even if he didn't give you the money, he still probably, if you had an idea, he could possibly walk you through some doors or put you with some people that can make your investment come to fruition, where it's not going to cost you and be in the red. And what she ended up having to do was shut down her business.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? I hope that, in the long run, they get it together. You know what I'm saying? I hope she gets it together, because I don't want to beat up on her because she's a female. I want her to thrive. And then also, I can say this: I had a conversation with a female, man, that was my friend, and she decided to end the friendship. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's all love. May God bless you and keep you, is my prayer. I didn't take it as a personal. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you can have an emotional moment. You can have an emotional moment. But guess what? I was more valuable of a friendship to you than you ever were to me anyway. So it didn't matter. So at the end of the day, if you think that I was losing, I felt that you felt like you had to do that to make me realize something, baby. I got my friends. I've had the same friends that I've had since 1995, and I ain't looking for no other ones, man.
Right.
You one of them. So I don't even care. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I hope she do some self evaluation. Like I say, it won't happen in the near future. It'll be like later on down the run. Once the guilt and the shame then wore off, then it'll be like, boy, you know, I was thinking about this shit. Yeah, you was right, and that'll be it. But it won't be on air. It won't be like we won't know nothing about it.
Yeah. And if you think about it, um, look at the friendship that Cam and Mace had, and they were upset with each other for so long, and they got back together. So I could see, what I'm saying, this little falling out. I call it a little tiff. You know what I mean? A
Yeah,
little,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It'll blow over. Cause I
yeah.
mean, they tighter than ever. They getting more money than ever, and
You feel me?
a lot of things, man. So I like to see Jay and Dane, but I don't know if it's possible. At this point, but
Yeah. That's another story for another day. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So,
even Cam and Jimmy, man, like it's
yeah.
to see all this carrying on going on, they be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man, for tapping in. We also, we always got to do our ones and twos, especially on this subject matter.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I hope that I was able to get you through a little bit tonight, you know what I'm saying? And to tap in, tonight, I might go live early in the morning. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? We in the freeze. So we got nothing but time to have these conversations, these elephants in the room that we do need for our culture. So
Let me know, man. I'm finna get back to these children, man.
man, shout out to my boy Tim, man. For real, for real. Let him know your handle though, man. Let him know
Oh
your
yeah,
handle.
at Timbo the Great, man. Come lock in with me at Timbo Chops. Yeah, it's going down in a major way, man. Y'all stay warm. It's going down in the morning, man.
Absolutely, man. One of the best barbers in the city, man. Timbo on the chop in, man. For real, for real, for real. Man, it has been fun. It has been fun, man. I have learned so much, especially dealing with the situation. I've watched it. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about uh, socioeconomic statuses that are valuable amongst people. But I think that this was a great thing, man, and I hope that they're able to mend their friendship and get back together like they once had. You know what I'm saying? And keep it together on the positive tip, man. But I also got to say this, man, and I have to send a special shout out. I have to send a special shout out, man. Listen to me. Special shout out to 8Ball, his coffee. Man, listen, one of the best coffees. Man, listen, this live stream broadcast is being vibed with to 8Ball brand coffee. This blend is like no other to get your morning started. Or evening nightcap, which you seen tonight, enjoyable. The coffee beans are made from this magnificent blend that are from multi-generational harvesters and growers of Kenya. A-Ball Coffee is not only a way to support the community, but also a way to support the environment globally. Don't trip, take a sip today, and blessings. And don't forget, let's drink some coffee, man. Hey, listen, the blend is amazing, man. Listen, go online, 8Ball brand coffee, grab you some today. I also want to say I also want to send a special shout out to Ed Hennings, CO. Ed Hennings, look, all longshoresmen in Texas, you definitely gonna get $50 off. Go to Ed Hennings. All ILA workers in the Houston area get $50 off when you use the product code. So DM me or email me at let'syapaboutit@gmail.com that you see on the bottom of the screen. Y'all tap in with me. I wear the work boots. My co-workers are wearing the work boots right now. Listen, Ed Hennings, go to that website. The website is actually in my profile. If you go to my profile, you'll be able to link in and lock in, man. Some of the best durable boots out there. I wear them on a daily basis, and my feet are safe, my feet are comfortable, and my feet are protected. Man, go over there, grab you some today. Also, I want to send a special shout out to Go I want to send a special shout out to Pandemonium Pandemonium Club Clothing Club. Y'all go over there, listen to me. Yours truly. Use the product code podcast, and you're gonna get yourself 10% off. Go over there. Listen, some of the most exclusive hats. They've been worn by Jeff Teague, Rashad McCants, Queens Flip, Dave East, man, Benny the Butcher, West Side Gun, and the list goes on, man. Go over there to Pandemonium Clothing Club. You see that at the bottom of the screen. Use that product code podcast, and you definitely gonna get yourself 10% off. But also, I want to show y'all this. Not only this, 8 Ball Brand Coffee. Look, they gave a great pop-up shop this past Saturday. Man, it was a fun event, man. I had such a great time. I got to chop it up with 8 Ball. I asked them a lot of different questions behind the scenes that I got for myself, as opposed to me interviewing them on a personal level for the public to see. I talked about how that song that he formulated that came together with Luda. I also talked to him about the creation of him and that song Smoking One and Rolling Up with Young Dolph. Some of those songs are classics. If you ever get a chance, check them out. Man, but I also want to say this, man, and I want to end the show tonight, man. Listen to me. This is the Black Rob Report. Sex is a biological function, not a leverage and monetary gain. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you do not want to become a slave mentally to the money. You want to be self-sufficient. You want to be able to carry yourself in such a way of respect to where those type of things don't even get leveraged or try to be leveraged your way. A lot of times in our culture, as you see, a lot of people talk about these things, about having to sleep your way to the top or do unnecessary things of yourself to become number one. Let me tell you something. It is your moral responsibility for you to be exactly who you are. Who you are is going to get you in those doors, not you leveraging yourself for sex or using your bodily organs for leverage. Who you are in your character, who you are on the choices you make, who you are and you being able to adjust to difficulty is going to set the tone for you to be prepared for your blessing. There is no way of skipping the process of hard work, and hard work is what gets the job done. There is no skipping that process. And I want you to understand that this is important for our culture to understand, for our youth to understand that the value isn't in somebody handing you something behind something sexual. It's about who you are, and who you are as a person is what's going to create the value, and for people to see that value within yourself. You already know, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm breaking it down the way I'm breaking it down. So you understand that, and you pass that message along to everybody. Understand it's the value in who you are and not the value in your organs. That's Black Rob, the Black Rob Report, baby.
BLACKROB.
One more time, baby.
BLACKROB.
Listen, man. Tonight, I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight, man. It has been a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? I would like to thank you all for joining tonight's broadcast. And if I came up in your feed and you stopped to take a peek in, then come join the conversation and comment down below. Well, we've come to an end. So tell a friend and let the conversation begin. So until the next time, we definitely gonna yap about it. Good night. But before I bid you farewell, I have a trailblazing artist out of Houston by the name of Asteroid with a fire track called One on One. Asteroid, if you please, take us out.
Alright, now this feel like one of them ones. I ain't been with you, and maybe that's why I'm acting up. Or it could be this liquor that's making us go and speak in tongues. But baby, I got this vision, you gotta see it, trust. I've been in rooms with Miss Mrs. before we grew in love. I ain't too super on stitching, but let me knock on wood. Cause I feel like that little engine who really said he could. From the stars to your hood, heart to heart, now we got it locked, guess it's understood. She said la vie, you a moment of time, that's more than me. Might just catch me and vibe and flow the keys. Girl, you sexy and fine, I wanna feast. Now tell me what's your favorite station. I'm trying to know all your ins and out, no infiltration. The way that you caught my eye just like a pin location. Never seen how to focus, never broke the patience. Management on my own, it's like I need a crisis. Paper sheet ain't too long, I like to keep it patient. Baby, I'm still on it like a cheated dates.
So, run it up, my love, you had me stuck like I have nowhere to go. And I really messed up, no bringing me down, I'm trapped in a rabbit's hole. So listen here, Alice, I want to enter your wonderland, and I'm wondering if you'll give me another chance to dance under the strobe lights and hold tight like a cold night.
Matter of warm vibes, brand love bites in a smooth ride. Just wanna go long ways, what's the wrong way? I ain't never need no side, it's always me and my me's and this pretty bitty on my eyes.
And I can define the time and space to see my one true love. My pretty little mistress is a miracle from the one that's up above. But a minute, don't fuck this up. Kinda dizzy, I'm losing blood. Don't go like, what's the rush? Put it on me to make me hush. You the only one in this club that can make my black ass blush. Cause you know I got a crush. This my 7th can. Crush my piece of candy. Crush like what the fuck? Bittersweet feeling. Throwing up from lust. Don't get it.
BLECKROB.
One more time, baby.